Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a video which is just talking about my Champions League predictions that I did at the start of the season. I'm going to go through each group one by one and I'm going to do new predictions for what I think is going to happen in the league, in the Champions League going forward. To start off, I think my spot's finally going down, kind of. I don't know, it looks a bit still bad on, still a bit bad on this video. There we go, got there eventually. But let's get to talking about it. This group, starting with the group that depresses me the most. As you can see, I predicted Bayern to finish top. I always thought Bayern would finish top. Then I had United in second, because I just think we were going to hiccup against Bayern. Galatasaray, and then Copenhagen right at the bottom. I didn't think Copenhagen would do anything, they never do anything in the Champions League. Bayern finished top, as you know. Copenhagen really surprised me even getting through against Galatasaray there. Even though how bad United were, Copenhagen, I just never thought they'd get through anyway. And Galatasaray getting Europa League, what I expected them to get. So we've got two right out of this. And then United finishing dead bottom. Awful Champions League this year. We're not going to speak too much on it. I'm probably going to make a United video in a couple of days, and then we'll talk about it there. But for now, we'll keep it as that was a prediction, guys. But let's get on to the next one. The next one showing is Group B. This is Arsenal's group, and you know what, I got most of this right. I had Arsenal PSV to finish top, and that's what he did. First and second correct, and then I said Sevilla and Lens on the wrong way around, because I just thought Sevilla, man, they're in the rotation, they drop into Europa League, they win the Europa League, they're back in the Champions League. But it's been broken. Lens have gone into Europa League. They pushed PSG last year, but could not push PSV out of their place. Lens going to the Europa League. They have a decent sized team in the Europa League there, and Sevilla completely out of Europe altogether, along with United. There's two decently sized teams, two teams that were late in stages in the Europa League last year that are now just completely out of Europe fully. Into the Real Madrid's group, I remember to finish top. As you expect, they did finish top. You know what, I had Union Berlin as a little underdog card, but they finished rock bottom of the group. I just thought, you know what, they've had a lot of momentum coming up in the past couple of years. Maybe they can get somewhere, but that momentum died off this year. They've been on a terrible run in the league as well. This is not different to how they've been playing the league. They've been awful this season. They've had the manager sacked. It's been completely different to the past couple of seasons, and I don't know what's happened to them. Napoli, not as good as they were last year, but managing to get through second in the group, and then Braga finishing third, going into the Europa League. Not much more to say on that group. It's kind of how you'd expect it to go, but I just threw in Union Berlin to be a little underdog guard there. Let's get on to Group D though, the last group of yesterday's game, well, Tuesday's games. I had Inter to finish top. I just thought Inter were the best team in this group, but proven wrong, because Sociedad, who I had bottom to finish bottom, topped the group and did it well, to be fair. Salzburg had to get Europa League, and Benfica had to get into the Champions League spot, but Benfica got into Europa League, and Salzburg completely go out. Can't expect that of Salzburg. I probably disrespected Sociedad putting them that low, but I do apologise, Sociedad fans. Salzburg completely out. Benfica's a big team going into Europa League though, joining that mismatch of Liverpool and Brighton and all that down there. Onto Group E though, and Group E was we'll get to that in a second. I felt like Madrid top as I expected. Feyenoord, I thought Feyenoord would do really well this year. Under Slot was getting linked to a few big jobs this season, and they'd done a really good job at Feyenoord last year, winning the league. And I thought, they might show a bit in the Champions League this year. But no, Lazio prevail, come second, and Feyenoord go to the Europa League. But it could be another good team to be put in the Europa League mix there and challenge a couple of teams down there. But Celtic go completely out, and I to the Europa League, but just nothing from them as per from the Scottish teams. Group F. This was the big group. This is the group of death. This is the one that was hardest to predict for anyone. I had Newcastle to finish top. Did not happen. Newcastle actually finished bottom. There was a few times tonight where they was going into the next stage of the Champions League, but did not get it. PSG to finish second. I thought PSG were good, but they won't be as good this year because they didn't have Messi anymore. They didn't have Neymar. Lost quite a few big names this summer, and I was right. They still finished second. They had a few hiccups. They got absolutely hammered by Newcastle at home. Milan, exactly where I thought they'd be, straight into the Europa League. That is the biggest team to go into the Europa League so far, that I would say. 8 times Champions League winner, going to be challenging Liverpool and Brighton and West Ham and all these other teams that have dropped down for the Europa League next year. You know what, probably one of the teams that I've named probably won't win it, probably someone else. I might do a Europa League prediction after tomorrow night's games. We'll wait and see on that one. I'll probably do that after the draw. We'll see how the draw goes, and then we're like, yeah, that's who I think is going to get it this year. Dortmund finished bottom, finished top. I think they played really well in the group stages. I just didn't think they have it in this group. I thought they did crumble in a group like this, but they've shown the strengths, and going forward, I've got a lot of faith in them now. Group G, City's group, and this is the only group where I've predicted every single place correctly, because City get an easily predictable group, and that is all we'll say on it, because once again I just get too frustrated. Group H, Barcelona's group. I had Barca to finish top, and you know what? I threw in a little sneaky one of Shakhtar, maybe getting into the next stage of the Champions League rather than the Europa League here. But no, Shakhtar entered the Europa League, Porto through to the next stage of the Champions League, and Antwerp dead last out of the tournament. See, that's what you expect a team like Antwerp to be, not a team like United to be. But that is all the group predictions I've gone through and how they've actually ended. So it puts us into and I've not actually made this on a slide here, but it puts us into pot 1. We'll go through it actually. We'll go back to the start. Give me a second. We'll just go right back to the start. Give me a minute. Right, we'll just absolutely smash through it. Watch this. Right, Group A, that puts Bayern in pot 1 and Copenhagen in pot 2. Oh, big game for anyone getting Copenhagen there. Arsenal in pot 1 and PSV in pot 2. Arsenal survive, getting absolutely thrashed by Bayern so far. Probably get them in the next round now and get absolutely thrashed there. Madrid into pot 1 and Napoli into pot 2. So far, there's no one that you wouldn't want for any of these big clubs. I think this is how you expect it. There's been 3 big clubs so far, and that's what you expect. Sociedad finishing top of the group, they'll enjoy that, but hopefully for Sociedad's sake, they don't get PSG. Hopefully Sociedad do get one of the games where it's going to be a bit of a challenge for them, like Lazio. Lazio will be a good game for them. Athletic will just finish the top of their group. So yeah, Lazio, Sociedad will be a really interesting game. PSG, I hope they get City. I do. I hope that's where you go. Or they get Bayern. Just a big game for us to watch. Not Sociedad. I don't want to Sociedad. City and Leipzig going through. Leipzig is probably the toughest opponent after PSG there to be getting in the next round. Porto as well. I don't think we'd be too bad about Porto. I think most teams will take a game against Porto. Imagine Real Madrid probably get Porto in the end and they'll beat them. But that's all the groups to go for. And here's what my predictions are. My underdogs so far, Copenhagen are ones that I've got a rate for getting through into the next stage. Oh, the fans will love that. And I guess it's a good one for the fans, that. Hopefully they don't end up with a massive... You know what? I hope they get Sociedad. I hope Copenhagen Sociedad is the game that we see in the next round of 16 when the draw happens. I think the draw happens on Friday. That's what I hope to see is Copenhagen versus Sociedad, because it doesn't give Copenhagen a chance, but it's not an absolute pummeling. It gives the fans something to be happy about. They might get a result at home, but yeah. And it's also what on the page here, what is most likely in my mind to be in the semi-finals, and it kind of shows how the tournament's gone so far. I think Bayern and City were in everyone's top 2 this year. Bayern signing Kane, they finally got that striker that's going to be scoring the goals, and then City just being City winning the treble last year. You're always going to put them up there. Real Madrid have just been firing through it so far. People was like, oh, what are they going to do about that star striker up front anymore? And you know what? They could even sign a striker in January just to push them through a bit more. But honestly, I think next year when they try and go for either a Haaland or Mbappe, because I think they might just go for a Haaland because he does have that release clause in his contract. You've got to remember that, guys. Real Madrid are going to look scary for the next few years. With the midfield that they've got, if they get Haaland or Mbappe, it's over for us all, basically, because that is a Galacticos team. That is a pure Galacticos team, and that'd be crazy. And then Dortmund... I put Dortmund in there because of the performance in the group stage. As I said, I thought they'd crumble in that group of death, but now that they've shown what they can do, I don't feel like they're going to crumble as much anymore. I feel like they've got a bit of faith in themselves, and you know what? I think they're going to come up to the challenge very well. As I said, I hope to do one of these on the Europa League and the Conference League. I'll probably do that all together with all 3 draws. Once all 3 draws have been made and we know who's playing who, I think that's the best time to do it. I go for a prediction on that. But that is my prediction so far on what's going to happen in towards the semi-final. I might look back at it again, but for now, that's what's happening, and we'll have a talk about the draw once the draws are done. Thank you for watching, guys. If you have liked this video, please leave a like, and if you're not already, please subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.